My boyfriend threw ketchup on me knowing I have a phobia. Okay, folks, I'm just going to tell you this right up front. I am going to butcher the enunciation of this phobia. I will attempt it once, and every other time I will refer to it as the ketchup phobia. Let's get into it. I'm convinced he hates me. I, female 27, am dating male 35. We will call him Mordecai. He was once my boss, but when I got promoted, we started dating. We were really close when I was on his team, but I will admit that he had kind of a mean streak. Once I got promoted, his attitude towards me changed drastically. He'd buy me lunch and eat with me, text and call outside of work, and he eventually asked me out. I was hesitant, but eventually said yes because I hadn't been in a relationship for 2 years and I was kind of lonely. I am a single mother and I didn't want my son seeing me date around. Once we started dating, I saw that we had a lot in common. Similar interests and points of views, music tastes, etc. We went on a lot of arcade and bar dates. It was a blast. After 8 months though, things started to shift. He'd randomly ask me things like, "Do you love yourself?" Or, "I would like to know the thought process behind that hairstyle." He'd compare our lives often. He has multiple properties. I live in a small apartment with my son. And he'd randomly sing certain song lyrics that degrade women. When we started dating, we laid out our likes, our dislikes. It was mostly the basics, but I made sure to emphasize that I have, here we go, ortosequius phobia? Yes, a ketchup phobia. I don't mind others around me eating it, but I'd really appreciate it if he avoided putting it close enough for me to smell it or have any physical contact with it. He rolled his eyes at the time, but agreed to this. Last week, we were chilling at one of his properties, and I was getting ready to head out with my friends for some drinks. As it was just the girls, I told him I'd be heading out alone. I knew his team was playing, so he really wouldn't mind, yet he got pissed and said he didn't like me going out without him because of the attention I get from other men. I will note that his insecurities have always been pretty high, and he always pointed out how a pretty girl like me shouldn't even be attracted to someone like him. I've always brushed it off, but I see now that it has been a real issue. I tried to reassure him that I have spent the past 2 years with him and that I wasn't interested in anyone else. As I was in the bathroom getting dressed, I noticed him staring at me from the hallway. I brushed it off and continued to curl my hair. He came into the bathroom, slammed the door closed, and proceeded to empty a whole bottle of ketchup on me, covering my hair, clothes, legs, and arms. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I would have been catching a felony at that point. Not even gonna lie. That right there, no matter what your phobia is or what somebody thinks or how ridiculous it is, it doesn't change your phobia. For me, it's clowns. And I fully warn anybody who brings a clown near me, I am not a runner. I am a fighter. So unless you want to get hurt, don't get near me. That's just me personally. The fact that he locked you in a room, then dumped your biggest phobia on top of you? No, no, no. He is getting kicked to the curb after he's getting my foot up his ass. Back to the story. I screamed. I threw up. And I went into a full-on panic attack. I jumped into the shower, fully clothed, threw up and sobbed like a 2-year-old. When I looked up at him, his face was like stone. No expression whatsoever, just pure malice. It took me 2 hours to compose myself. I ripped at my clothes so much that my skirt and my shirt were in pieces. I didn't ask him why. I didn't scream at him. I just showered, threw on a big shirt, gathered everything I owned, and left. Bravo. Good for you, girl. He doesn't even deserve anything. He knows exactly what he did. And that was strong. Now, he did get his way because he wanted to prevent you from going out that night, but he's a dumbass. I went to my mother's house. She was watching my son for the evening, and I just cried. She told me to stay at her house so he wouldn't find me, and I've been here ever since. Since then, he's been blowing up my phone and telling me that I'm being very dramatic and that all he wanted me to do was stay there with him. He's never apologized, but instead said that since I'm his first girlfriend, he didn't know how to handle the situation and would like to talk about things. I haven't seen him since. I've been on LOA for a couple of months, and I really want to have this settled before going back to work in 3 weeks. What do I do? Well, first, let's address a couple things. You said that he stated you were his first girlfriend. He's 35 years old. He's either lying to you or there's something else amiss there. But the fact of the matter is, he took your biggest fear and used it against you so that he could get his way. That is very childlike behavior, and no mother or father would encourage that behavior in a child. So no, there's no reason why you should be giving him any kind of grace on this. He locked you in a room where you could not get out. He dumped your biggest fear on you. You literally had a panic attack that lasted for 2 hours, and he stared at you with malice. He is a cruel asshole, plain and simple. He does not deserve your respect, your forgiveness, or your time. The blessing in all this is the fact that your son was with your mother, so at least he didn't have to experience this. You did great in that aspect. I will say that because you guys work together, that could make this very difficult. I don't know what your corporate rules are where you work. Typically, companies that do allow it, you have to inform them when you are dating, and you also have to inform them when you're not dating. I would say that although this isn't your company's problem, it is something that you're probably just going to have to make them aware of, so that if he does try and do something stupid when you get back, if he starts trying to harass you or anything like that, then there are steps they could take. I don't know that I would go into full detail with them, because honestly, this is a personal thing and it's not a work thing unless he brings it to work. But you can say that things did not work out between the two of you. A situation happened that made you no longer feel comfortable being alone with him. That's all you need to say, because then they will keep him away from you. And I wish you the best of luck. What a jerk. Oh, just what a jerk.